And it's another busy day down here at 79th, and the jet skis are out in full effect. And not only that, it looks like they knew the greatest show on earth was here, and they decided they were going to give us a flyby. Welcome back, guys, to the Miami Boat Ramps channel. And here comes our first crew heading into the dock. And it looks like we've got another one of these captains that's got a little bit of a trigger-happy throttle hand. They're trying to line this up. You can tell there's a little bit of wind and current today. It is flowing from right to left. Our cap's decided he's going to leave the helm. He obviously just doesn't like the way whoever was up here tying this in the bow was doing it. So we've got somebody on the stern who's going to try and give the cap a little hand there, and cap's going to come in for his approach now. But once again, he's kind of all over the place on the throttles, and here around the docks, that's definitely not the place to do that. You really want everything to kind of move slow and easy. But as jerky as everything's going on, I'm kind of wondering if they're not having some kind of mechanical trouble. So cap's coming in on his first approach. Really heavy speed check. He's going to kind of back it around, but once again, with the current and the wind today, it's going to kind of grab everything and twist him a little bit, not the direction he wants to go. But you can just look at the motor bouncing around the way it is. I mean, he is all over the place on the throttle. There's got to be a mechanical issue with this one. I mean, because there is nothing with finesse going on here. This is just, he's having to force it for some reason. I don't know. If you know what's possibly kind of the mechanical issue he's having here, let me know in the comments below. But you can tell by the way that motor's jumping, it is all over the place. Maybe the throttle's stuck, and he's only got one throttle position, and he's just getting forward and reverse out of that one speed. Oh! Oh! They smacked the heck out of the foredock. Oh, that one hurt to watch even. Oh, man. Cap had to go down and take a look and see what the damage factor was. But, I mean, they hit that one hard. Once again, there's got to be some kind of mechanical issue going on here. So Cap's going to have to reset up, basically, and reapproach this whole dock. But now he's flustered after that smack. I mean, that one would get anybody going. But once again, we can see they're just heavy on the throttle for some reason. Oh, yeah, I hope everybody's hanging on. Anybody trying to stand up on this one's at risk here. So Cap's going to come back in, reapproach, try and set it up. And we're coming in a much slower approach this time, but I'm wondering if this is a lot of neutral. In other words, I'm thinking that possibly anytime he puts it into gear, he's getting more throttle than he needs, and he's having to feather it back into neutral to kind of calm it down. But I don't know, he's holding a steady speed and pace right here. Coming in at a pretty steep angle this time, which is probably what he's going to need to do, especially with the wind and current pulling the way it's pulling. Hopefully everybody's hanging onto their hats as we make the approach here, though. And Cap's got a good angle this time, a good line. We're coming in we're coming in at a good slow pace. Here he's been able to kind of get it into gear just above an idle speed. Now if we can get our guy off the bow from here, my recommendation is going to be that we kill this motor and let everybody else walk it on. And it looks like that's kind of what we're going to do. We've at least put it into neutral and relinquished the fact that we're on the dock and we've got some assistance up here now. That was a rough one to watch, but once again, I mean, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this one, but there had to be some kind of mechanical failure here. I mean, he's going to have to take this one to the shop to get this one figured out. Let somebody do some work on it. And speaking of doing work, you guys ever thought about doing a cool job part-time? You know what? We are hiring for cameramen all over Florida. If you live in Florida and would like a cool part-time job on weekends, hit us up at wavyguru1@gmail.com. And let us know, and we might be able to work with you. We're also looking for a couple energetic females who enjoy boating and fishing. And if that may be you as well and you live in the South Florida area, hit us up over there at wavyguru1@gmail.com as well. And this is not an uncommon scene down here at 79. That is the floating ski. These guys launched 2 skis. One of them had some lines and tied it off, and the other one just kind of let it floating there, thinking that maybe it would be there when he got back, but unfortunately it looks like he probably guessed wrong on that one. As we can tell, it's floated away from one. They were on dock 1, both those skis launched at the same time. One had lines and one didn't. And this was our crew that struggled just a few moments ago getting this boat over onto the dock, and you can tell by the way they've loaded it right here, the boat's crooked. They don't seem to care, which kind of reinforces that fact that I think they were having mechanical issues, because typically if you loaded it like this and saw it was crooked, you'd probably back this back down and try and see if you could get it set up right. But they didn't power load the boat. They walked it on, used the winch, and they seem to be just fine leaving this crooked like this, which just tells me that they were probably having a mechanical issue and they don't want to fight with it trying to get it on the trailer, and they're just going to let it ride however it's going to ride back to wherever they're going from here. And we finally wrangled up the ski that broke free. All my man's jet ski buddies are over here having a good time with this one. And he's hopped on another ski, and it looks like he's going to catch a ride out to this one. So no harm, no foul probably here. It looks like they're going to be able to get this one wrangled up, and he'll get back on his way. But it's just always interesting to me to watch the skis pull up here at 79. Nobody ever seems to have lines. They basically drop these things, ride it over to the dock, leave it sitting right there at the dock and go park their cars. Sometimes they come back and it's still right there at the dock, and sometimes they come back and find, like my man did here, that it's floating away, making its own way out into Biscayne Bay. Now this one's interesting here. So my man showed up with 2 cases of beverages. A hard plastic case. I'm assuming it's like a wet case to, they can put stuff in and hopefully it'll stay dry, but I'm trying to figure out how they're really going to transport this on a ski. So they're handing him a life jacket, so it looks like they're both going to get on here. The hard case will go into the front glove, well, not the front glove box, but the front trunk of the ski. And in that storage compartment, they'll put that, but I can't imagine you're going to put these cases of beverages in there because, rolling out into Biscayne Bay, I got to imagine as you hit wake, these things are going to go flying around everywhere. That just seems like a recipe for disaster right there. And here comes our crew, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and try and make an approach in on possibly Dock 2. The other vessel that was kind of in the way is starting to pull out, and they're making their approach over there. Not sure what this other vessel is doing out here. They've not really made the approach up to a dock yet. I'm imagining they're not pulling this boat from here. I could be wrong, but they may just be looking to pick some people up. And here comes our crew on the Sea Fox heading over to Dock 2. And they got a pretty good line. They may not have any issues here. It's interesting, we're just holding the fender, so we're not going to tie this one off. He just wants to make sure he's got it up high enough, but usually you can still do that by tying this off onto the tow hold if the boat has a tow hold on the interior of the cockpit. But my man's just going to try and go ahead and hold it off with it. And we're starting to drift off now. We're kind of losing it. We're going to go for the pole grab, but no, it looks like we've gone a little too far out. But the bow is still close enough, and my man goes for the leap, and he's successfully off onto the dock. But now we've got to get this boat up here. So he's left with the fender, and he's just going to, I'm assuming, walk it on with the fender from the dock. And we've got another leaper. Well, not much of a leap, really just a step off here, but they're going to try and get this one going. But it looks like they've got the lines on the incorrect side of the vessel, so they're having to readjust that. And the usual mistake I see with these guys around the docks is people still have rods in the rod holders. And I won't call it a terrible mistake, but you really want to get them off these gunnels. They just kind of get in the way. Kind of you can see like my man here is having to go work his way around it. But they're not going to have any real major issues, it looks like. They're going to get this off and onto the dock, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here the same way they are. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at Haulover Inlet. My personal channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos over there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet, Miami, Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.